Live from KSTP TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 6:30.
Students pour out of one suburban high school for lunch today, but 2 weeks ago, a serious accident here has some parents calling for the school to keep the kids inside.
It's part of every school day at high schools all through the Twin Cities.
But some people say open campuses should be closed for safety's sake. And nowhere is that debate more heated than in Burnsville. Michael Gargiulo tells us how parents are meeting here tonight to discuss the closed campus.
Beth Bosholm was one of 5 Burnsville high school students riding in this car on October 11th when it swerved to miss another vehicle and then struck a tree at 67 miles per hour.
I flew out the back of the back windshield, and I was just laying there, and I couldn't figure out how I got out of the car, and when all the doors were shut.
Beth broke her neck in the accident, which occurred as she and her friends left the high school campus for lunch. That's what a lot of Burnsville high school students do every day. But the crash has heated up a long-standing debate over whether the current open campus policy should be changed, and the students required to stay on the school grounds during lunch.
I think that this is an opportunity to close it to keep our kids safer.
At lunchtime in the school's cafeteria, you'll hear a variety of opinions.
It's tragic that those people crashed and stuff, yeah, but I don't think the whole school should suffer.
I think we should stay because of what happened, and it's not that really big of a deal, but I think it'd be a problem with like the size of the cafeteria. It's like more than half the people go out to lunch, and it's already packed.
Burnsville's principal, though, believes closing the campus is a bad idea.
They're saying the way to control student behavior is to have another rule that's so that would not be there. Other parents, or the other 3 parents, said no, we don't need a rule, we just need to have people who use good judgment.
But Beth Bosholm has a very personal reason for pushing for the change.
Well, I don't want this to happen to anybody else in our school.
The people meeting tonight could vote on the issue. Their recommendation then goes to the school board, which would ultimately make the decision whether to change the policy. You can expect more traffic tie-ups if you're traveling between Minneapolis and St. Paul on Interstate 94. The work center is on a stretch of I-94 from Highway 280 to Riverside. Fortunately, these repairs on the median of I-94 between 280 and the U of M exit should be finished within the next couple of weeks. But preparations are now underway to rebuild the Dartmouth Bridge over the Mississippi. The bridge reconstruction is set to begin this spring. MnDOT says construction along I-94 will last through the fall of 1996. Plymouth police are wasting no time in tracking down the person who put a bomb outside the U.S. West building last Tuesday. As Channel 5's Angela Davis reports, investigators are picking through the pieces of the explosive and looking for fingerprints.
Torn apart, these are harmless fragments. Strapped together, they have frightful consequences. These are the pieces of a bomb found outside the U.S. West building in Plymouth last week. Police believe whoever built the bomb intended for it to explode.
Certainly no good can come of something like this, and certainly it's well beyond the realm of a practical joke. This was meant to hurt somebody.
The bomb was placed here on the southern end of the U.S. West parking lot. An unsuspecting motorist apparently ran over it and smashed the timing device. No one was injured. U.S. West called in the Minneapolis bomb squad to detonate the explosive. Police say the device had the force of 12 shotgun shells.
I don't think that there was any particular person or entity that was targeted for this. I think what we have is a person who's a coward who likes to scare people. And I would certainly like to find him.
Detective Hanvik believes the bomb would have exploded as planned had it not been run over by a car. He has few leads in the case, but expects the culprit to brag about the bomb scare to his or her friends. It's his hope that those conversations will backfire on the bomb builder and provide police with clues to the suspect's identity. Angela Davis, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Anyone with information about the bomb is asked to call the Plymouth Police Department at 550-5160. Police do not believe this incident is connected to recent complaints about U.S. West.
The election is now 2 weeks away. How much do you know about the gubernatorial candidate's stands on the issues? Well, tonight, Senator John Marty and Arnie Carlson will talk taxes, education, and politics in a debate for Minnesota Public Radio. Channel 5 political reporter Carrie Miller joins us live with the preview. Hello, Carrie.
Hi, Wendy. In spite of some of the not-so-behind-the-scenes troubles that John Marty has been having in his campaign, he will show up here tonight eager to debate, and Governor Carlson has been doing a lot of aggressive campaigning out there, and he will also be eager to debate. But this has a different twist to it, too. This is kind of a radio town forum, and this discussion is not only just going to be a debate between the candidates, but also a group of voters will be in the studio, and this is really being billed as a discussion between the two candidates and the voters, so it really ought to be an interesting debate. As you mentioned, you're going to hear a lot about taxes. You're going to hear something about crime. You'll probably hear something about education funding. The two candidates have been sniping at each other out there on the campaign trail, and we'll be here to cover it. Expect full coverage tonight after Monday Night Football.
Carrie, with 2 weeks to go until the election, how important is a debate like this?
Angela, it's important from the aspect that the more the voters know about where the candidates stand on issues, the better when they go to the polls. But it would take something surprising, and that's possible because, as I mentioned, we have an element of voters here, and that's always kind of an unpredictable factor here. But to really predict real changes in the polls, as you know, Governor Carlson is leading by a sizable lead. That's pretty questionable. Senator Marty would have to do something pretty unusual.
All right, Carrie, thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, the mud flies in political campaigns. The snow is flying in northern Minnesota. That leads our look at the region tonight. In Duluth, it's no blizzard, but enough snow fell today to make it look like winter. Duluth has already seen snow showers this year. The snow is not a traffic problem, but Dave Dahl says Hibbing and International Falls could see a measurable snowfall. Dave will have the latest forecast in just a few minutes.
A dramatic move in the O.J. Simpson murder trial. It leads our news from around America tonight.
Channel 5's Tom Hauser has the latest from the New Star Satellite Center. Tom.
Angela and Wendy, it's been a tough day for attorneys on both sides of the O.J. Simpson case. Today, Judge Lance Ito rejected two major motions, one by the prosecution and another by the defense. In Los Angeles, prosecutor Marcia Clark asked that 80 potential jurors be dismissed from the trial and that 200 others be sequestered. Clark claims without it, there's no way for them to avoid media reports, and she says that means further potential for bias. That's when defense attorney Johnny Cochran again suggested the entire trial be postponed and Simpson be released on bail. Judge Ito said no to both motions. President Bill Clinton is being hounded about taxes tonight despite this warm welcome at a campaign stop in Ohio. But then the president got more questions about a White House memo leaked to the press. That memo outlines future tax hikes and cuts in Social Security. Talk of tax increases is not what the president needed while on the campaign trail trying to get Democrats elected. Actor Raul Julia, also known as Gomez, dies today of a stroke in Long Island, New York, in a hospital there. In the two hit films Addams Family, playing opposite Angelica Houston. One of his most famous roles was in the 1985 film Kiss of the Spider Woman, where he plays a tormented South American political prisoner. His most recent film, or among his most recent films, is him playing a suave defense lawyer in Presumed Innocent. Julia was also a good stage actor. He played in 14 Shakespeare productions in New York. Julia and his wife were active in the Hunger Project, which aims to eliminate world hunger by the year 2000. He is survived by his wife and two sons. And in Texas, after nearly a week of natural disasters, things seem to be shaping up. The Coast Guard says the oil fire on the San Jacinto River is about to burn itself out. Workers are now busy laying booms around the slick areas and vacuuming the oil up, but they say so far sunshine's been their most useful ally.
Seems to be our best friend, supplemented by what we're able to do with the skimming operations.
The sun, of course, also means less rain in southeastern Texas. Floodwaters are receding, so most flood victims can now go back home, and it's probably about time as far as they're concerned. That's the latest news coming into our New Star Satellite Center. Back to you now, Wendy and Angela.
All right, thanks, Tom. The Texas pipeline break drives up gas prices in parts of the country.
Here, the pipeline break will increase the price for gas at the pumps in your community.
And we'll tell you about a Minnesota company making a big splash with one of its television ads.
And there's a freeze on the way for parts of western Minnesota. We may even get it right here in the Twin Cities. I'll give you that chilly forecast that's coming up next.
Tune in to Channel 5 on Saturday, October 29th at 6:30 p.m. for The American Dream, presented by Primetime Live's Diane Sawyer. This half-hour special follows the lives of 6 people who have had their lives changed by one organization, Junior Achievement.
Please join us to see how Junior Achievement is helping to fulfill the American dream across the nation and in the upper Midwest.
That's the American Dream on Saturday, October 29th at 6:30 p.m.
On any given day, Jerome Bettis can be found on a football field, shortening the careers of those who venture into his path. The Nike Air Grid Trainer can be found there.
And Nike footwear and apparel can be found at Dayton's.
You're showing this commercial in Dallas, right?
Our customers tell us that they really like the new special editions from Oldsmobile.
Just one price and no hassle.
So we're extending this plan to our program cars.
Like this 1994 Achieva, well-equipped and no hassle priced at just $12,995.
Buy for $249, 0 down, and no payments till $1995.
Or get a one-price Sierra program car for $12,995.
Buy for $249, 0 down, and no payments till $95.
Special edition program cars at McCarthy's of Roseville.
A pipeline break and fire outside of Houston boosts the price of gas out east tonight.
But here in the Twin Cities, a gallon of gas will cost you a few extra pennies. In Egan, we found self-serve unleaded gas for as low as $1.10 a gallon. But Twin Cities petroleum dealers say the price jump is not due to the Houston pipeline break. They say an Oklahoma pipeline supplies gasoline to the Twin Cities. The dealers say price fluctuations of up to 20 cents per gallon are normal, depending on supply and seasonal demand.
3M shareholders will be delighted to hear the company has logged record third-quarter earnings. Sales totaled over $3.8 billion. The company's profits were 8% higher than last year's third quarter. That translates into an 81 cents per share increase. That's the highest earnings per share in 3M history. That's a lot of Post-it notes. Well, another Minnesota company reports strong third-quarter sales today. Deluxe Corporation, maker of checks and other printed matters, reports sales up by almost 15% over last year's third quarter. However, net earnings at 40 cents per share were a nickel lower than 1993 third-quarter earnings.
A Minneapolis-based company is leading the way for the bottled water industry, at least as far as advertising goes. During a recent Bottled Water Association convention, Chippewa Springs Water won top honors for its media campaign. The company's over a century old and used videotape, radio spots, and newsletters to commemorate its history and highlight its facilities. Chippewa Springs is based in Minneapolis. It bottles and sells both sparkling and distilled water from Chippewa Falls in Wisconsin. A Minnesota man made inline skates a household product. You can't go around one of the lakes in the Twin Cities without running into some skaters. Now a Minnesota company hopes to capitalize on this healthy form of exercise. Take a look at this. It's rollerblade fruit snacks. They're made by General Mills' own Betty Crocker. The fruit snacks are shaped like skates, skaters, and helmets. They cost around $2.19.
Well, the designers had children in mind for another Twin Cities creation. Workers are busy building the new Children's Museum at the corner of 7th and St. Peter in St. Paul. The museum has grown out of its current building in its location next to Bandana Square. Construction on the new facility started in the spring. The project will cost about $8 million to complete. The Children's Museum is expected to open in September of next year. Well, kids love the cuddly-looking creatures.
Tonight we'll tell you about a panda flying back to its homeland. Hear how the animal didn't find love in London.
And after Dave Dahl's weather, we will tell you about these incredible pictures of ferry boats in flames.
Amy O'Neill, dance teacher. Ari Sanchez, master carpenter. Megan Kwan, heart specialist. Christopher Nolan.
You're looking at the future, a future made brighter by a change in attitude. You see, more and more Americans are deciding against abortion. And when you think what this means to our future, you could say it's a small miracle. Life, what a beautiful choice.
Getting married? Invite Scotch Brand archive tape. You'll find them on display at Kmart. Building a movie library? Get this dust-resistant collections tape. Ever use the same tape to record over and over again? Be sure it's durable retaping tape. And just for kids is just for them. The Scott Select Series videotapes. They're all at Kmart now. Choose them based on how you use them.
A good winter coat makes surviving winter easy. And right now, you can get a great coat for every winter situation and get a second one 1/2 off. And Marshalls has coats for everything winter can throw at you. All at incredibly low prices for men, women, and kids. So come to the Marshalls Winter Survival Event and buy one, get one 1/2 off. But hurry, or you'll get left out in the cold.
Never, never, never pay full price.
Marshalls.
Here's what you might put down on a typical car lease. At Honda, however, we had a different idea. We took our fully equipped 1995 Honda Accord LX and lowered the down payment to some rather nice round numbers. The zero down short-term lease from your Honda dealer. Zero down and $289 a month for 30 months.
Gardeners out there, you better pay attention to today's forecast because it's going to be a chilly one.
Yes, it is. We're going to be very close. We're right on the edge of the freeze advisory that's been issued by the National Weather Service, and clouds are probably the only thing that's going to help us out tonight. We'll probably stay just above the freezing point throughout most of the night, and then we may touch it toward morning. But out in the western part of the state, they are definitely going to fall into the upper 20s, it looks like. And officially out there, as we take a look at I-94 going over the Mississippi River, kind of busy. Once again, the traffic, still a lot of folks heading home. And it looks pretty crowded out there in I-94. Kind of a breezy night as well, and still have a few clouds and maybe even a few snow flurries over the eastern part of the state. I think most of that, though, is passed on by into the western part of Wisconsin. 40 for our current temp. Dew point's now at 27. 59% for the relative humidity. Because that dew point is so cold, that's going to allow that air temperature to drop off a little bit more tonight. Northwest wind, though, now it's 16 miles per hour. We've had wind chills down around 20 throughout the day, and I think they're going to slip into the teens tonight. 43 for the high temperature. The low so far is that current reading of 40, and a trace of snow, our first official snowfall out at the airport today. And it was a chilly day for a lot of folks, even the youngsters getting ready for school. The crossing patrol there, and all the kids heading out. This is in Mounds View, and you can see the kids are bundled up, trying to cover up everything because that wind chill was down in the chilly range this morning. Tonight and tomorrow morning, it's going to be even cooler. Those winds still quite strong, and the storm responsible is still a spinning area of low pressure up to our north. That provided that snow that became measurable up in the far northeastern part of the state. We had a few flurries and some sleet down here in eastern Minnesota. There's how close the clearing is, and because of that clearing area, that is where the freeze advisory is out. From about Fargo down through Alexandria to Wilmer to Marshall all the way down to Fairmont. Those areas will see temperatures in the upper 20s tonight. I believe here in the Twin Cities we'll probably stay somewhere around the lower 30s. For an overnight low. Right now we're at 40 degrees, 42 at Mankato. Most of those temperatures staying mild so far, but as soon as it gets dark tonight, we'll see those temperatures fall off. 36 already at this hour up in Brainerd. Watch the snow and the shower activity push onto our east. High pressure replaces that. That'll lighten up the winds, give us a high temperature right around 45 and plenty of sunshine, and that sun will gradually spread eastward through the Great Lakes again for the next several days. We're going to warm up. Channel 5 forecast for overnight tonight does have the possibility of a breeze, but toward morning, I think, cloudy skies, breezy, maybe even a flurry or two. Then when you wake up tomorrow morning, should be right around freezing, 32, mostly cloudy skies. In the afternoon, we get some sunshine, and our temperature climbs up to about 45. Northwest winds, though, as strong as 10 to 20 miles per hour. As we look ahead, we do warm up. Finally, by the end of the week, we're above average. Get somewhere up to the mid to upper 50s and maybe even close to 60 by Friday. There's the threat of showers coming in again Thursday night and on into early on Friday at least. But overall, fall kind of weather is going to last throughout much of this week. Sunshine, I think, is going to be enjoyed by a lot of folks tomorrow.
That sounds good.
Get rid of the clouds, yeah.
Thank you. A deadly bomb blast in Sri Lanka leads our look at news from around the world tonight. In Sri Lanka, 50 people are dead, 300 wounded in a suicide bombing at a rally for the opposition party. The blast killed the party leader. The Sri Lankan government called off peace talks with the rebels who are believed to be responsible for the attack. In South Korea, 75 miles southeast of Seoul, flames shoot like a torch from a packed pleasure boat. 8 people are dead, 24 are missing. Smoke billows from that boat. 131 people were on board when the fire started. Rescuers pulled in 81 people on another ferry. Doctors are treating more than a dozen of the passengers. In London, Princess Diana returns from her trip to the United States. Diana walks past photographers and reporters skirting questions about her marriage to Prince Charles. The questions follow the publication of a new biography on Charles. In the book, Charles' biographer suggests Princess Diana is responsible for the royal couple's separation. Also in London, Ming Ming, the giant panda, is carefully put on a plane for a return trip to her home in China. Ming Ming was on loan from China for a breeding program, but the 3-year project produced no baby pandas, so it's back to China for Ming Ming.
Well, she's really nice and fluffy, but she really belongs where she came from, mostly, I think. I wish she didn't have to go back, but it's good for her to go back to where she belongs.
The London Zoo says Ming Ming and the British panda were just not compatible.
In tonight's Health Watch, we will tell you where more salmonella cases are tied to Schwann's ice cream.
And the weather may be cool outside, but see why it's time to tee up in the Twin Cities.
Sometimes just getting dressed isn't enough. A guy could use a little more style. Dayton's has it, with handsome, loose-fit Dockers and dressier, wrinkle-free Dockers in 100% cotton. Either way, don't just get dressed. Get Dockers at Dayton's.
Still baking your own holiday pies? Let Baker Square do the work. Now through Thanksgiving, Baker Square is offering some very special creations, like this luscious masterpiece, filled with rich pumpkin cream. There's even a Happy Halloween variation. Pie experts agree, nothing tops these seasonal sensations from Baker Square. So take one home to your family and pick up some holiday pie gift certificates too. Hey, order 1,000 and keep our bakers busy.
Where's your money going?
I'm just not going to be probed by you.
For a year, Channel 5's hidden cameras capture the government wasting tax dollars, exposing politicians playing when they could have been working, and uncovering dollars disappearing down the drain.
I wasn't aware of it.
Trust Unit 5. We're the experts at keeping an eye on your money. We don't just watch waste, we stop it. And just wait till you see what's next. After all, it's your money, and we'll find it on 5.
More salmonella cases are cropping up in the U.S.
In Nevada, the Bureau of Disease Control says 3 people have tested positive for salmonella poisoning, and 25 other potential cases are under examination. Last week, investigators determined that a salmonella outbreak at the Schwann's ice cream plant may have started with a tanker truck full of raw eggs. The truck was later used to carry ice cream mix. Eggs frequently carry the salmonella bacteria until they're cooked.
Doctors in Seattle are raising questions tonight about a connection between a widely used fertility drug and ovarian cancer. A new study in the New England Journal of Medicine found women who take the drug clomiphene citrate for more than a year are 2.5 times more likely to develop ovarian cancer. The drug is sold under the names Clomid or Seraphine. It helps women produce and release an egg.
What I'm concerned about is that women who've taken Clomid will be in a panic, and they'll be running out to have their ovaries removed, or that women will absolutely refuse to take Clomid.
Now, Dr. Nagel says the drug has been used since the 1960s and is considered very safe. A larger study of the findings is in the works.
Arthritis. It affects 37 million people across the country. The condition crosses all age groups and races. Experts are gathering in the Twin Cities this week to share the latest in research and treatments for the disease. Those experts tell us early diagnosis of arthritis is key. If you have swelling, redness, or pain in a joint, or feel tired and achy all over, you should see your physician. It's a disease that can be managed with proper medication and exercise. Doctors say keeping positive attitudes helps to better control the pain. The American College of Rheumatology meeting continues through Wednesday. Something special for a couple of famous football players who Viking fans know well.
Joe Schmidt is here with the details on that.
When you retire a jersey, that's like the ultimate honor. When I left high school, they burned mine.
Oh.
My last football game. No, I tell you what, they are 2 names who used to strike fear into Vikings and their fans. Butkus and Sayers. Both are Hall of Famers, and both will have their jerseys retired by the Chicago Bears. Number 51, Dick Butkus, probably the best and certainly the meanest middle linebacker to ever play the game. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler who left a definite impression on everyone he hit. Number 40, Gale Sayers, meanwhile, one of the most exciting running backs ever. He set 23 club records and 7 NFL marks before a knee injury ended his career prematurely.
It's the end, I think, as far as football goes, so it's a pretty big deal, and I feel very proud of it and glad it's finally done, and we can all be on our way.
I think anytime you're honored while you're alive, it's a big moment, and so it's nice to have the jersey retired. And
the 2 jerseys will officially be retired at halftime of next Monday night's Packers-Bears game. Finally, in sports, this golf season is almost over, but there is a state-of-the-art way to keep your golf game in tune over the winter. Today, City Link's virtual golf and driving range opened at the Northwest Racket Club in St. Louis Park. It is one of only a few visual golf centers in the world, and it allows you to play 10 championship golf courses at the touch of a button. The club is planning tournaments and leagues during the winter season, and they have these little infrared devices that figure out if your ball is going straight or if it's slicing or hooking, or most of them go straight.
Most of them go right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Thanks, Joe. We hope you join us again later tonight for Eyewitness News after the game. John Locks is leaving, but who will be the next police chief of Minneapolis? It may surprise you to learn who's really picking the new chief. Meet 2 people who have a big hand in that decision. Plus, what's the best way to carve a pumpkin? We'll show you tonight after the game.
Time for a quick look at our satellites to see what's coming in for our segment called Five's Fun Flicks. It's not what you might expect to see during rush hour traffic near Miami, a cow weaving its way between cars. The Highway Patrol quickly got involved in the cow's capture and rounded it up, so to speak. Once the cow got off the highway, it was returned home safely. Well, you've heard of doll collecting, but over the last few years, action figure collecting's become a popular pastime. Take a look at one of the largest collections of its kind anywhere. It features the Star Wars characters, and undoubtedly most all of them are here. This collection's been in the work for over 15 years.
Our own star character, Dave Dahl, joins us with the final word on the forecast.
Star Wars, one of my favorite. We're going to be right close to the edge of the freeze advisory tonight. It's right out in the western part of the state, and cloud cover is going to help us out. We're going to stay cloudy, but I think we're going to touch down to 32 toward morning. Northwest winds as high as 20. We may even see a flurry or 2 yet.
All right, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everyone, for watching tonight. Channel 5's Eyewitness News at 6:30.
We leave you with some high fives from some folks removing a dock from Lake Harriet. I guess winter can't be far away. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope to see you back here tonight after Monday Night Football.